Alex, it's good to be here. And the last time we talked, we were talking about some of the changes we were hoping for in Iran.
Correct.
But there's a very exciting event occurring in the community, and that is the famous cylinder from Cyrus the Great, which is touring, and in October and November and December, it's going to be at the Getty Museum. And the reason this has such resonance is because for Americans, for Europeans, certainly for Persians, this is recorded as the world's first human rights document, the first Bill of Rights. And if you read history, the history written by the Greeks at the time, by Herodotus, the history by the Babylonians, the history by all in the region, the Jewish people, they all reference Cyrus's contribution not only to protecting the rights of citizens of Persia, but universal rights for all cultures. This was the first document that protected individual rights, cultural rights, religious rights for all people. That is why it is so important, I believe, that we speak to this issue today of universal human rights, because many people in Iran are having their rights violated. And the Baha'i are an example, or the Zoroastrians, or other denominations, other religious movements. For Iran to embrace the culture, the historical culture, would be to embrace the ideas of Cyrus the Great. And I think that is why there is such pride in the community with the cylinder. For Americans, we know from the letters that Thomas Jefferson wrote to his son and to those close to him, he felt it was very important for people to read and understand Cyrus's work. He also wrote of the issue of these basic principles, and some of those principles found their way into our own documents. So we all owe a debt to the insights and the culture that dates back to Cyrus the Great. And now there is no better time than, as the Persian community says here, for Iran to remember that culture, enshrine that culture, release the political prisoners, release the religious prisoners, and respect the basic rights of man. And I think that is a good dialogue for us to have.
We are all hoping, a Persian community in particular, hoping that in Iran the human right, which is as you mentioned, Cyrus the Great was one of the pioneers in this area, the human right, would take place.
Chairman Ed Royce, who just was appointed a few months ago as the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee of Congress. And I am so proud to have a person like Congressman Ed Royce in that position because he's so informed about all the various things that go around the world, especially the Middle East, especially Iran. And hopefully this gathering will make some of the people a little more acquainted with Chairman Royce's work, the good work he's doing for Orange County and our nation and the world.
You know, I have the pleasure to meet Congressman Royce before, have short interview with him, and he's always one of the supporters of the minorities, with particular with Iranian. He always support their cause. And would you like to add something to that, please?
Well, I think it's very, very important that we not lose sight of the concept that the United States stands for freedom. And as we were talking about Cyrus the Great and the freedom that he brought to the world at that time and what he established in principle as universal human rights, as you said, that is reflected now in the United Nations. Now is a time for the international community to really raise this issue of human rights and doing what we can to protect the rights of every citizen. That is the way forward for progress for humanity. But in the meantime, I know Fred played a role, your organization played a role in helping bring the Cyrus cylinder here. And I thought you might want to, should we have you speak for just a minute about that?
Yes, I will. As you know, the Cyrus cylinder was discovered about 80, 90 years ago in the province of Baghdad, somewhere in that area, and it was translated. It was amazing to find out that 2,600 years ago, Cyrus really declared the real first human rights thing. You know, Cyrus is mentioned 23 times in the Bible. A lot of people don't know that. Jefferson had 2 copies of Cyrus's, and I don't want to gloat about it, but I've read in a few places that even the United States Constitution has had some inspiration from the Cyrus. So I don't want to go through history. I just wanted to let you know that Farhang Foundation, which is just a cultural organization promoting the Iranian culture. It has nothing to do with the politics or anything like that. Just a cultural foundation. We decided to bring the Cyrus cylinder here. We had a goal of raising $1 million, which we did, because it costs money to bring it. Insurance alone is $350,000. Anyway, the Cyrus cylinder is going to be here at the Getty Museum in October, November, and I really encourage, especially the Iranian Americans, to encourage their American friends to go and visit it, because it may not look like something elaborate, but it tells you the history of what Cyrus thought and did 2,600 years ago.
I am so pleased that I know Ed is now is the chairperson of the Foreign Affairs Policy. He's so knowledgeable about this. Iranian community, Persian community, really appreciate your effort for whatever you're doing.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you much. Appreciate it.